Aubrey, what is your dream day if you had to
Oh,
describe it?
more and more, it's just to be able to, like, stay home and do nothing. Is
Yeah.
that so terrible?
I
I
know.
swear I'm not a lazy person, but I'm just so busy, I have so much going on that that would be a dream to just, like, stay in bed and watch Netflix.
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing, honestly. Um, so that is just a sample of one of the phrases we want you guys to learn today to be able to use on IELTS. Today we have idioms with the word dream, and we're going to teach you the meanings and show you how you can use them on the exam.
Yes, but first we want to share the results of a very fun Spotify poll. This was from episode 1453, Band 9, Part 3 answers about cities. And we asked, do you like the city you live in? 78.9%, so almost 80% said yes, and 20% said no. That's not bad.
Nice. No, that's pretty high. That's great. I'm happy so many of you are stoked about where you're living.
I know, right? I feel bad for the 20%, but I've been there. There have been times like for a job or whatever reason, you're kind of stuck somewhere you don't love. It happens.
I mean, I wasn't stoked to, grow up in the hometown I grew up in. So I would have answered no if I was
Yeah.
asked back then.
That wasn't your dream to grow up there?
Definitely not. Definitely not. Okay, guys, so let's get into some more idioms here. The first one is the American dream. Now, what do you think this means, Aubrey?
Did you
And
see me side eye that?
I know, right?
This is kind of loaded right
Tricky.
now with the
It's tricky.
political climate the way it is, and I have always felt like this is sort of, I guess, America-centric, sort of egotistical, be like, "Oh, the American dream." Once upon a
Right.
time, sure, when people could come from wherever and get land and have all of this opportunity, but even then, the more you learn about history, people would come with these high ideals, and it turns out it wasn't any better than where they were.
I know. I think this is useful for you guys in comparing things, like comparing places, comparing time. So, for example, I could say, when I was growing up, I think everybody expected to be able to have the American dream. And if you're not watching on YouTube, you can't see me use my quotation fingers. And yes, guys, I am using quotation fingers because you can use this for any country. Right? Even if you didn't grow
Absolutely.
up in America, this is an idiom with a meaning. It's not literal, right? So you can use it to describe your country as long as you explain. So again, let me continue with that sample answer real fast. In the past, everybody thought you could attain the American dream, quote unquote. Um, but I feel like today, with the economy so difficult, with jobs so scarce, and all of this uncertainty in the world, it is harder for people to own their own home and to have a comfortable life and retire well. So, yeah, I would say what we thought in the past is very different than today.
Yeah, ooh, I love that answer, and it's true, this it doesn't necessarily literally mean America,
Right,
right? This is just an idea of success and being
right.
comfortable, like you said, having the house and car. So yeah, that's interesting, that's a great way to use that, and I love this next one. This is so useful to just say something is like a dream. I used this at the top of the episode to say it would be a dream to just stay in bed all day.
Mhm.
This, I feel like you could use on almost every part 1
Yeah.
answer.
No, totally. Think about how many part 1 questions ask you guys, "Do you enjoy this? Do you like this?" Right?
Yeah.
You can use this phrase for any of those. Like, Aubrey, what is your favorite dessert?
My dream is just to bathe in tiramisu and just lean over and take a bite. I love every dessert, but I'm kind of, hooked on tiramisu right now.
Tiramisu is one of my favorites. I
Oh, it's
love
delicious,
tiramisu.
delicious.
Um, there's this Italian restaurant that we go to sometimes, and their tiramisu is like a dream.
Mm.
So guys, notice how I separated the words there, how I pronounce that like a dream. That's a really sort of natural way to express that.
Yeah, or you could, if you're asked about restaurants, my dream is to have a taco shop in walking distance to my house, right? Whatever you're asked about, instead of saying, I would like, you can instead say, like, my dream would be, or it would be like a dream if, and then say whatever would be awesome.
Yes. All right. So, making a compound noun with a word dream, you could use it for anything that would be ideal, right? Dream house, dream meal, dream birthday. But dream house, I think, is the most common. Um, do you ever say dream house, Aubrey?
I don't really, but it's funny, I heard a couple of people talking about this the other day. They were like, "Oh, this huge house would be my dream house." And I was like, "Really? That's a lot to clean. Do you
I
need
know.
that kind of space?" I feel like any more of these giant mansions are so unrealistic,
Yeah.
and these ideas sometimes people have of a dream house are a little unrealistic and like, "Why? Really? No, it's a terrible
I
idea."
know, right? Yeah, so dream house or dream home, maybe. You could easily use this in part one when you're asked to describe where you live, right? You could say, well, it's not exactly my dream house, but it's comfortable for now.
Nice. Yes. And this can be used for so many things. Like you said, meal, birthday, desk, chair, couch. My dream couch is a giant fluffy one that I just get swallowed by.
Nice, nice. All right. Next phrase. We have two more for you guys today. Pipe dreams. What's a pipe dream?
This is like something unrealistic. If
Yeah.
someone's saying something that is unlikely to happen, you could be like, that's kind of a pipe dream. And what you mean is that's very unrealistic.
Yeah, right? Like, if your kid, for example, is not very athletic. Okay, this is terrible, but it can happen. Okay, so
It could
say for
happen.
example, what if your child is not very athletic, right? But they want to be in the NBA someday. Like
They're planning on it.
you could, right? Yeah, you could be like, "Oh, sorry, that's kind of a pipe dream, kiddo. Let's focus on reading and math."
Right. Let's get really good at science, little guy. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is great, right? If you're asked questions about the future, you could say some total like unrealistic hope and say, but I realize that's kind of a pipe dream.
Yeah, this may be a pipe dream, but I one day I plan to be a famous musician. Why
Sure.
not? Go for
Why not?
broke.
Who knows? Who knows? All right. Now, the last one, guys, is super fun. Beyond my wildest dreams. And very similar to the phrase like a dream. This, guys, you can use for anything when you're talking about something that you really, really loved or was really, really good, which happens a lot in part one and part two.
Absolutely, right? A birthday party that someone threw for you, it was beyond my wildest dreams. That you just mean it was amazing. Then you're going to
Yeah.
share all the details about what was so great about it.
Exactly, exactly. And even if it's not true, even if the party was boring, use this
Make it
phrase
up.
and then make it up. Exactly. All right, guys. Remember that if you're listening to us on Spotify, there is a new poll up for you with this episode, and we're curious to hear your answers. So make sure you answer that.
Yes, awesome. Thanks, Jessica. This was super fun.
Thanks, Aubrey. Bye.